Still, it could be different. Okay, so just go with that. I'm a handyman. I've been doing that for 25 years off and on. My rate really hasn't changed from the day I started to now, except for discounts and stuff like that, okay? That's where I stand on things. So when I made a request for overall staff level assessment, I did it for a reason, okay? We have redundancy. I've seen it, okay? I've also seen the good and the bad in this district. I promise you, I'm gonna make it clear on my website that we have a great new board. You've been to my website. Oh, by the way, whoever is doing the pool on me turning on this board, I got $100 at 10 to 1, because it ain't gonna happen. So my $100, I'll take a picture of it, put it on my website, because I know that they're gonna have pitfalls and pratfalls and make mistakes. I need to back them up, 100%, because this is the new board. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So we're not gonna do the favorites thing, hence the reason why you asked me to do something, I did it for you, because, hey, that was the thing to do, it was the right thing to do. I'm glad you're here. So anybody says otherwise, yeah. One of the things you have to remember about me is I'm pretty direct and I'm pretty forward, okay? What I don't like to see is people's personal business, personal lives, medical histories, and all that information thrown out in the community for other people to pick fun of. Nobody likes being disabled. I certainly can't stand it. That's a bad label to put on somebody. How many people have seen the news lately? It's always a guy that's disabled. It's always a guy that's got some issue. And what's the first thing they do? Boom. You label a guy, it's over. Once you've done that to somebody, they're done. Okay, I know that for a fact. I'm the one that has an FBI background check that I have to go through every 4 years because I drive a hazmat vehicle. I got a truck license. And if I screw up even this much, guess where I get to go? In a room full of gentlemen that go, whoa, you can't drive a truck, Mr. Pace. Twice that's happened to me. You've never had the displeasure of doing that. I have. Sitting there looking at things like flyers and my name cast all over the place. Cool, I'm good with that. Or the false allegations that I've had to defend. It's not fair, it stinks, and it's not funny, okay? Or the money I had to cough up that I could have spent on a bike for my kid or a car or something, right? Not fair. Or the way I've been treated in such a manner that's not conducive to professionalism in this district. We're all familiar with it, okay? That is going to change. You know why it's going to change? That era is over. I won't even use the name. How am I going to get more people here? It's real simple. That era is gone. The era of this, that, and the other thing, it's gone. New day, guys. Plant some flowers. I put up a flag. It's going to be good days. Okay? My next challenge will not be having to deal with a certain gentleman who's no longer with us. I can now concentrate on another issue, which is the HOA matter. Someone brought that up to me. I agree. We don't need an HOA out in the middle of this area because you know what? I think people should have a right to live in a recreational lifestyle community. That includes 4-wheels, RVs, and doing what you want. I want to see your kids outside playing, having a good time, and right now my neighborhood's picking up on that, which is good news. What I want to address is the situation over things that I brought up about our legal counsel, current staff levels, staff members, and people's positions. I have no bone with Mr. Jacobson. He's been very good to me all these years. He's never had any real cross words to say about me, so I'm neutral on that, okay? Just wanted to let you know that, okay? I have a rule, if you can't say something good, don't say something at all. So I think my silence pretty much covers the rest of it, okay? What I do know is that when I'm reading documents that are put out for the public's review, okay? Please, if you could, ever so kind, pass that over there. Thank you very much, Ms. Kirkbride. If you would, I'm sorry, I only have 4 copies. I apologize for that, I have plenty more. All right, real quick, Park and Rec situation, okay? I highlighted the purple part. I apologize, Ms. Ringy, you're the only one I got a chance to highlight. My highlight is in the car. It's, I want you to keep an eye on that for a second. Park and Rec situation, okay? I have exhaustively gone through all of the documents. I did receive a copy of a policy today. I will now tell you my findings. At 90%, the other 10 I'm working on. The information that was put out in the memo is inaccurate. I'm not going to tell you why it is. I'm just going to tell you it is. I was ostracized, castrated, and threatened by this district with legal action or reserved the right to take me down. For what? Because I wanted to disprove something, and I did. I didn't have to get mad about it. I'm not even pointing fingers. I haven't used the name yet. I don't need to. It's in the memo. Okay? We were not mandated by anything. And bad legal advice is bad legal advice. Not to say that it was given by anybody in particular. You've seen it on my website. And by the looks of the faces of the people in this room, you've been to my website. okay? So I'm gonna leave it at that. So this is a memo that was on my website, but I want to confirm today that the language that was claimed to be mandated by our insurance was absolutely not. I did speak to Ann Terry, the director of them, along with a board member, and they confirmed that. Please, if you could. I only have one copy, I apologize. Now the big one. I'm not gonna give this to you except at a time when I ask that you don't release this into the public. This document makes fun of my disability. It picks on everything I am, not to mention the fact every single one of my diagnoses is in this document. How dare you? How dare you? I'm looking right at you. You wrote that one, and then this was the offspring of it. And this district paid money to do that to me. This document was sent to somebody who was working at this district who was not supposed to give it to me. I'm glad he leaked it. It was given to every one of these staff members. This is humiliating stuff. If anybody ever got a hold of this in the federal government, I'd lose everything. We're talking my license, my right to drive, and I just want to make something clear. There was an effort to have me locked up. Locked up. Because I got a disability. That's not funny. What did I do to any of you except call your names? That's really it. Sticks and stones, kids. Why do I smile? I win today. I win. I held my tongue, I held my breath, I did everything that I should have done otherwise, but to be treated the way I've been treated. My signs were ripped out of the ground. That's just the beginning of it. These board members are gonna make changes, I promise you that, because I'm gonna hold them to it. They campaigned on transparency, they campaigned on what I asked them. I asked you very politely. I've talked with her, I've spoken with Mrs. Vance. I really want to speak to you, Mr. Lucas, I know you're busy. That's why I was really hoping to get a chance to, and someday I will. Maybe I won't, we'll see what happens, okay? This document is disgusting. Really? You guys are gonna really try to have me locked up back in a mental institution? I don't know where this came from. I know it came from Mr. Killer to an employee, who then gave it to me, who thought I should have it. The VA investigated this document. There was an open investigation by the OIG. This document's unbelievable. So now, my request, the only one I'm gonna make, because it's a personnel matter. I don't know who wrote that, okay? I will tell you that the newsletters that were done by the communications director. I asked him to his face to answer my question, because this is very important to me. As you can read in the purple, Mrs. Ring, and I think it says Court of Public Opinion, that's what the document's called. This is about things I haven't even done. The district spent $269,000 on 22 legal actions. Right here. I wasn't part of 22 legal actions. Mr. Arnold was, and they made a big stink out of it. There was a lawsuit in here that I wasn't even a part of with Gerald Olish, and he's gone. I love whoever did this. Now, is anybody asking me why I sought legal counsel? This is ugly. Now, and this needs to be investigated. This is in the possession of the district, by the way, okay? If it isn't, I will be more than happy to give you a copy of this, and I will tell you why my family's not here today. Absolutely celebrating you guys, because I told them to come here tonight, because I wanted them to clap for you guys. I thought that was gonna be cool, right? Okay, so this aside, I was able to keep my license so I could put food on the table and save my home from a foreclosure. Oh, by the way, you got that wrong. I defended myself in bankruptcy court. Pretty good, actually. When it was all said and done, the judge looked at the other side of the room and said, "We ain't taking that man's home. He ain't broke the law, and he didn't commit bank fraud." No, I didn't. So, that's as bad as it's gonna get tonight. I'm gonna wish you all the best. There's an open seat. I know a lot of people in here wouldn't wanna see me in that seat. But if you really want to see what I can do when I have the ability not to have to beg for records, yeah. And you know what? I got no ill will towards these nice people right here. If it wasn't for their help, I wouldn't be able to do this tonight. I'm sorry they moved. I tried to help you, I really did. I know you don't think so, but I really did. Because you're nice people. And what happened at that meeting made me sick to my stomach. And I wish someone had just picked up the phone and said, "Ron, we have a problem." And man, I'd have been there. And I wasn't for you, and I apologize for that. I really do. I just wish I could have been there. That was wrong. Anyways, that's pretty much where I'm at. The only request I'm going to make today is that you look over the position of communications person, because I know the person that wrote this had something to do with this, unless I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. Okay? But at this point, it either came from the lawyers or somebody that knew about this. You'll be able to see it. If you don't, Mr. Lucas, I'll get you one. I'm just asking you not to put this out there, because this could end me. And yeah, I would end up locked up, so you can go. So anyways, that's all I got to say. Again, congratulations. I am going to put my name in for that position over there and be a lot less whatever that I am now, but I'm just glad everybody's here. I'm glad I don't have to do a recall. That's good news. You had 2 other people that were in the election. The people that are here, but take the time. I won't have the need to be involved so much anymore, because I do have to get my things squared away. You guys are going to be able to take the reins. I've made that clear to every one of you in the messages I kept. In case something goes haywire, and I'll say I didn't. Power shots, good luck to you on that. Calling me names is cool. You do whatever you want, say whatever you need to. I'm cool with that too. Everybody smile, because today is the new era. That era's gone, and I made that clear. So with the resignation today, we're on our way. So if you have any questions of me about water, supply of water, demand, plumbing hookups, all that stuff, I have all that information. I just didn't put it on my website because it's just, a lot of people are saying it's too much information. So sorry I didn't want to take 3 minutes. And I know we have a gentleman that's got a retort, so if you...
Please, I'll come up to the podium.
Okay, I'm all set. All right, thank you everybody, and congratulations to all of you.
Thanks, Ron.
It's for you, Sloan. Yeah.
All right, hello everybody, board and audience. Board members, congratulations on your victories. I have met a couple of you, but not all of you, and I just want to say congratulations on your win. So my name is Daniel Cole. I am a communications and public affairs consultant. I have a company called Cole Communications LLC, and Woodman Hills has been a client of mine for just about exactly 2 years now. I think that there were 2 people who signed my contract when I came on board, Gene Cozzolino and Lynn Bliss, who was the president of the board at that time, and I was very pleased to be able to work with both of them as long as they were involved in the district. Just to give you a sense of what my business is like, I have clients of various types. If you Google me, you quickly see that I'm the communications director for the Colorado Republican Party, and I also do other work that's more government relations than communications. So it's a fairly wide practice. The intersection of PR and GR, public relations and government relations, etc. So I want to say that, like Mr. Pace, who spoke, I'm familiar with the CORA process. I've been issuing CORA requests of my own for about 10 years. The very first CORA request that I have, CORA stands for Colorado Open Records Act. And the very first CORA request I ever submitted was of El Paso County government. And at the time, the county attorney was Bill Lewis, who subsequently became the district attorney here. So that means that there are multiple people in this room who have issued CORA requests to Bill Lewis at different times in his career. And he called me after I issued that first CORA request and said, I'm happy to comply with any legal CORA request, just as any government would be, but asking for all communications during a 4-year span on every topic of managing was too wide. And he taught me a little bit about how the law related to CORA and open meetings works, and I was glad to get that lesson. So let me transition from the general to the more specific. So first of all, I want to say that although this last election, the recent election, the May 8th election, was the first election for which I was present here at Woodman Hills, this is the 3rd board with whom I've interacted. Lynn Bliss, as I mentioned, brought me on. And after Lynn and Frank left the board, there was a new guard that took charge, and I think understandably in such a situation there were suspicions about where my loyalties lay, and I had to make sure everybody understood that, I'm a professional communications and government affairs consultant. And people in my line of work, and I think it goes for all the staff here, have to be loyal to an institution and not individual personalities. Because otherwise, every time a new government came into place, every time there was a new elected board, you would lose all your staff. You would lose all the continuity that's so important in order to keep a district functioning. So, I mentioned that because I've already interacted with people in this meeting, nobody sitting at the dais, but other people in this meeting who are obviously suspicious of me because I also worked for the last board, but I want to set your minds at ease in that regard. It makes very clear that my interest is working for the district, for this board, and hopefully even beyond. So, regarding the specific article that Mr. Pace mentioned, I do coordinate the newsletter, but all you would have to do is open any issue of the newsletter in order to discover that not every article in the newsletter is written by one person. And I, in fact, did not write the article that he circulated on the board. There might even be people in the audience who are aware of that fact. I did make sure that the article that was circulated did not mention any names. That was something I argued would be very inappropriate in a district newsletter. And I think you'll see, I know you'll see when you look at it, that it does not. But my attitude about the district's communications has always been that they should be positive, that they should serve to communicate information that the residents want to know and that will enhance their quality of life. That when the district has excellent programs going on, as for instance the Parks and Rec department does, what a shame it would be if the only thing keeping residents from enjoying those programs is the fact that they're not aware that they exist. And that's why the Parks and Rec department and the district as a whole has worked so hard to try to use every possible media to communicate what's going on in the district to you residents. And I'm sure there are ways to improve, and I look forward to finding them. But I just want you to know what my attitude towards the district's communications is. I'm a big believer in open, ample communication, transparency, and the free flow of ideas. Because I sincerely believe that when people of goodwill, as I think we all are here, get together in the same room with the desire to share their thoughts and their experiences, in a civil manner, seeking to understand one another and not simply to, argue over one another, you can accomplish a lot. So, I'm proud to say that I don't think that there's a person in this room, including Mr. Pace, who referred to me by title and gesture, although not by name, sincerely to whom I've ever spoken in uncivil or unprofessional words, no matter what the circumstances. And I think that it's important that district staff comport themselves that way, and I plan to continue doing so regardless of circumstance. So if you have any questions, board, at this time, I'd be happy to answer them. But since I was invoked in the last comment, I thought it was important to come and set the record straight on the factual matter that despite the claim that was made, I didn't write that article. And with reference to the other two documents that were circulated, I have no idea what they are, except through Mr. Pace's allusion. I've never seen them have anything to do with it. And Mr. Pace, all that being said, and despite your generous offer a moment ago, I do not expect or require an apology from you. I just wanted to make sure that you and everybody else in this room was aware of the truth.
Did you want me to retort to that? May I?
This is not.
No? Okay, forget
How long are
it.
you gonna go?
This is
Huh?
not,
We're good, he responded to you, we're good.
not the place.
That was the last one on public comment.